Welcome back to my channel, Dripping Alchemy. My name is Starr. Today I'm going to enter into the space with a lavender incense. And a little bit of sound again. Sound keeps making an appearance, everyone. So symbols and frequencies is the way forward. And we are going to get quite vulnerable today, everyone. I've just found a very vulnerable reading for another channel of mine, and I'm still in that vibration. So I knew that I was going to be bringing in that today into this space. So if you don't want to be diving deep into matters of the heart, then perhaps don't be here today. But this is not going to be, necessarily about romance. But I think this is about heart healing as well. So I've got some oracle and I've also got some tarot. So I'm just gonna hop right in. So we've got the Sophia stepping forward again, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and destiny, which I think is a beautiful card to step forward. After the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, and acceptance. And I think this is the energy that was stepping forward, at least for myself, over the past couple of days. It's just the relief that a real difficult time is now over, and I get to sit in the rainbow of, all the tears, all the sadness, all the everything that I've been through in my life up until this point, and now I get to play in the rainbow that has been created from that storm. Codes of the seeds, the blueprint is within you. Take the next step. And this came forward in the last reading, I believe. Am I gonna pull one more? No. So I'm just gonna read right now what is stepping forward, and I think this is perhaps 3 pathways that are here right now. Perhaps you're sat directly in divine intelligence right now and you feel very confident in that energy, and perhaps you feel like you're in the space where what is stepping forward to you is what's destined. And perhaps you might have felt like you were in this space and you've gone into this time of deep cocooning and healing in order to see the benefit of perhaps a journey or a cycle that you've already just completed. And now you're trying to find the silver lining of what has been. And then we've got the codes of the seed, the blueprint is within you. And perhaps, you've just started to dive into what your blueprint could possibly be, and to set you on this trajectory of this journey. And I think this is a continuation of what always happens. There might be something that is brought into our blueprint, and then we're sent on a quest to seek inspiration and understanding from that blueprint. And then we have to assess and bring in the inspiration from that space, the positive, the negative, and everything in between, and allow it to just be. And this idea of just be and just is something that I've really been having to wrap my head around, because I'm a being that feels so much, and it's almost like I want an answer for everything, and I nearly drove myself crazy trying to find the answers to everything. And some things just are, and that just has to be the truth. And I think that stems from childhood wounding too. I really find it difficult to be told what to do, but for some unknown reason, when it comes to spirit teams of light, I'm always pretty obedient. So there might be something in that for some, in the trust aspect of that. If you are a being that is usually pretty defiant, but you are obedient to your pathway, maybe that's because it is in alignment for you. I feel like that might be a real significant message for someone. We've got the 3 of Cups stepping forward. This idea of community, this idea of others stepping in and helping you on your pathway moving forward. And I think for some, you've really been having to heal your heart on your own, but I think that you might be now stepping towards souls that have gone on similar pathways, have gone on similar journeys, and that can hold you in that space of healing. So yeah, watch out for those that are trying to tell you too much right now. For some, because I think that you might be in a real tender space, and maybe your heart is still healing, and that's okay. And I think this has to come from a space of really trusting yourself and your path to know what is best for you. And I think that some, perhaps there's been kinks in your armor, kinks and chinks in your armor of what you once believed to be true, and now you're seeing it from a different perspective. And I think that this has to come from your original blueprint to know what is best for you. So this might be some time that you need to take to turn within to find your truth, because we can only live by our full truth. And whatever is the truth has to be okay, for you. And I think this is a trust and discernment for some, with 448 on the clock there. What is your true soul telling you at this time? And it might be, you know, now's the time that you have to really trust your destined path over anything else, anything that has been, anything that might be perceived to be of your true blueprint. What is your heart telling you? And this destiny that you feel in your heart. And I think destiny is an elusive expression, but I feel like this idea of if we're moving from the heart, then nothing can be wrong. Yeah, we've got the tower. And this might cause a tower for some. You know, and perhaps you've been avoiding this tower because you knew that what was in your heart potentially might cause disruptions in other aspects of your life. But I'm hearing the encouragement is that, you know, keep yourself safe right now, and trusting that no matter what happens outside of what you perceive to be your destined path, others are always going on their own journey. And I feel like this is only something that I've come to terms with over the past few weeks, is this idea of myself being collateral damage for other people's lives, you know, that they were bringing forward in their highest vibration for them, and that having to just be okay. And I think that we're coming into a time where we're just having much more compassion and scope for everyone's expression here. And, you know, at least for myself and my own perspective, I feel like now I can just sit and just be and understand that everyone is always doing their best, and that just has to be okay. And if we've been hurt in the process, others have been hurt in the process of us, you know, there's a space where you can say like, yeah, I'm sorry, like I'm sorry that I hurt you, but also I was just doing what was best for me. And that has to be the truth. Yeah, and I think this is a space that some are coming to now. It's just understanding that everything is life, and perhaps finding it quite comical. I know that I've definitely been laughing at myself of late because I feel a lot, and, you know, I feel like I might have been called dramatic more than a few times in my life, and it's okay. It's okay to feel a lot. And perhaps, you know, you've really been sitting in a space of really facing your previous wounds, and, you know, you couldn't find any piece of comedy gold or action in there. But I think that some are now coming to that phase of just being grateful for everything that they have experienced, and that's a really beautiful space to be in. So enjoy that if you're there. Some might be contemplating where they want to go next, you know, and this idea of literally wistfully looking out of the window. If you found yourself looking out of the window of late, perhaps it's because you do want to go. You do want to go, and perhaps that surprises you. Yeah, for some, you feel like your destiny is elsewhere now, and you didn't see this coming. Perhaps it was something that you really felt like was in alignment for you, and then all of a sudden you just now feel, no, it's not. And we've got the Starr here, so I'm speaking to some cosmic babies here. Yeah, it's like you're seeking highest vibrational expressions for you, everyone that is here. And you have to trust that, trust the destiny, and trust where you're being guided to. And I think that everyone here is now tapping into that blueprint of what is their North Star. And, you know, I'm being drawn to the tambourine here. Is that what we call it? It's like, what is that vibration for you? And this idea of vibration and essence keeps stepping forward, and it's something that, you know, I'm really listening to. I think I ignored it in the past because I just didn't have enough to bring forward as evidence for this vibration. But now I feel like I've come through enough that I can be like, no, I know what is and isn't for me. And I think that some of you are now coming to that expression with self. Yeah, this like the White Pony keeps coming through. So if you don't know that album, please do listen to White Pony, because I think there might be messages in there for some. I'm being drawn to sound balls again here in the Knight of Cups. So give to you right now, everyone that is here. And if you're in a position of, you know, feeling like you have to make some decisions now about your life and moving forward, really do tune in to the vibration that feels in most and highest alignment for you. And I had to do this at a certain point where, you know, what was in front of me, I couldn't necessarily see, but I just had to get into that vibration in order to bring forward to me what was going to be best. In terms of highest alignment for my heart. So this might be a lesson in vibrational match. This might be a lesson in understanding your vibration and how to bring that to you, and that understanding as vibration rather than opportunities per se. And I feel like this might be quite deep for some. You were looking at what was going to be perceived as the best option rather than sinking into the vibration of something. And that's a lesson that we all have to learn. So please don't shame yourself if that's where you find yourself, or you've been, and you feel like, oh, you know, I didn't make the right choice, or something went awry because of what you could see. That's okay. We all have to learn those lessons. So this is about getting into the vibration to bring forward, yeah, what is best for you and what isn't going to bring more heartbreak. And to some, staying where you are is is bringing the heartbreak. Yeah, you have to decide to take the swords out of your own back and move forward. So yeah, don't get trapped in the mental mind. And I'm bringing these cards in like one after the other. I'm not even reshuffling because it feels like there is such a continuation happening. And I was going to say continuation story. So you have to trust and where you're being guided. So many of you here. Yeah, this is very much feels like a trustful with the universe again. With your teams of light, with whatever you consider to be, yeah, your highest vibration. Because, yeah, you're having to trust if the universe is going to catch you, which might feel terrifying to some. So if you'd like support in your spaces or you'd like an extended reading with me, please do not hesitate to reach out. But you're being guided to trust your vibe rather than the money, rather than anything else external. And I think this might be very, very foreign to some. You might just start to step onto a path of listening into your soul. Yeah, I feel like I'm wanting to stutter, or I feel like I'm afraid that I'm going to slip up. I feel like that's what I was going to say. So I might be tapping into someone's actual words. It's like, yeah, like I'm afraid to slip up, and that's okay. And keep speaking to your teams of light, even if you're just speaking out to ether, because I'm being told to tell you that it is being heard. So I hope that questions are being answered. But look out for the signs because they are being shown to you, and fast. 11:14 on the clock there. And for some, you know, and I'm glad that this has come through because I wanted to share it and I didn't know where I was going to. But this idea of everything at the exact same time. So if something's moving fast, that means also that conflict can be brought into the table at the exact same time. 11:31, 30 and 31 on the clock there. 113, 1131. So there's something in numerology, but it's like vibrations come at the exact same time, and that's okay. But it's how we deal with remaining in the center. And I want to add, like, love is another card here. We've got cry here on my hand. So yes, maybe excitement, conflict, and tears is all happening at the exact same time. But I'm hearing for someone, you can hold that vibration. And for some, you know, you've been in training for lifetimes, yeah, to be exactly where you are and to know that miracles are possible. Wow. Yeah, for some, this is the precipice of everything. You've just stepped into the vibration of trusting your heart, and that feels so profound, so profound. So congratulations in that. I hope that we can expand a little bit more on that, but I'm just going to bring the box forward because I kept saying this over and over again when I was shuffling the cards. And this is from the Gateway of Light activations. As above, so below, so within, as without, connections to heaven and earth through the stargate of your heart. So that might be something that you want to repeat to self. Yeah, what's the stargate of your heart? That's so interesting. What is it? What is the stargate of your heart? And I promise I didn't just pull this out to be in alignment. I literally just shuffled. Heart of source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance and serenity. I feel like I'm going to share this card in the community tab, and I just immediately felt at peace. When we move from the heart center, we can feel at peace. And I feel like that is something that was testament to my own self and journey, in that I knew that my truth was conflicting to some, but I felt at peace because I knew what I was bringing through my heart was my truth. And I feel like that might be very significant for some. And look how bright this has come from, and listening to the stars and then bringing this from the heart of source. That the synchronicity in that is wild. Those are two separate decks, not by the same author. That is so, so, so fascinating. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. We've got the Merkaba in activation. Transcendence ascension, you are rising up. So you might look into working with your Merkaba. And I was being drawn to the continuation here of the High Priestess and this like shadow and light energy right up to the stars and back to source. And to some, you know this to be truth. You know that this is how it works. Yeah. Star being healing codes, important information, wounds are healed, recharging. So trust where you are right now. But I feel like some of you, like, you've literally just hit the jackpot in terms of your own energy and your own vibration, which is incredible. Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trust in the process, and Dharma. And some of you might be just retreating now in order to bring forward this highest vibration of you. So trust in that energy too. And you know, if you're working with others, allow for them to come into this space for themselves. Solar light upgrades, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, and willpower. And trust that you will have the willpower and the stamina to create anything that you want. For some of you here, you're not trusting in your heart to get you through. Perhaps you felt like you were weak, or this is something that you were told time and time again, that you are weak. I'm here to tell you, if you are here and you are receiving these messages, nothing about you is weak. You are You are phenomenally strong to trust your heart. And for some, this is not what you were told. You were told that trusting your heart was, you know, an illusion, that, yeah, you can't trust in your emotions, you can't trust in yourself. This is what you are now healing with this solar light upgrade. So with solar plexus chakra meditations to help you. But you know the truth. Wow, I love this card. Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Can't make it up. I'm so grateful for this reading. I'm so grateful that I stepped forward in my vulnerability in this reading, because I was umming and ahhing if I wanted to film after the reading that the monologue that I just filmed. I thought, I don't know, I feel too raw, but I'm so glad that I did, because it's brought this amazing energy forward leap. You go first and universe will catch you. This is exactly where you are for some. And I think this is so raw and so real. And this is connecting to perhaps witch wounds from other pasts for some. So if you would like help in that space, please do not hesitate to reach out, because, yeah, I feel like there might be something that I can help you with. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And this is what some of you are just stepping into. You know that you need to just try new things in order to just experience more. So trust in that energy. Trust where you're being guided. But know that your soul and your heart is leading. Whoever is here, your soul and your heart is leading. Keep listening to it. And I think there might be a fear in trusting the process. But we've got Imrama again. Where are you being called to journey to? You can't make it up. Yes, where are you being called to journey to? That is the question. We've got Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? And this came through also in the last reading. And some of you have just been so hesitant to step forward and lead. But I'm hearing why. Why? Well, we've got the Pleiades stepping forward, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. For some of you, you know this is why you're here, and it just feels too big right now. And Teams of Light is saying that's okay, but you can trust. And also trust that others are coming in for you with Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystics and teachers. You're not the only one. And remember this, and this is something that brought me a lot of comfort. And this is why I wanted to start a tarot channel in the first place. And this is not my first tarot channel, but I gained inspiration from knowing that there were multiple people watching the exact same reading as me and feeling the exact same way. This made me feel less alone in my journey, because I didn't have anything around me to corroborate what I was feeling. And this helped me to trust enough to keep stepping forward. And I knew that there was vibrations and energies moving through me that I just couldn't explain to others, but I felt like this was coming directly from the cosmos into my heart, and I didn't know how to put that into words. And gradually over the years I've been managing to put that into words, but I feel like these 3 cards say it all. So if these resonate with you, we might be part of the same soul tribe. So please do not hesitate to reach out to me, because I think there might be things that we are supposed to create together. But this is a call back to your heart, so that your soul tribe can find you too. And I've had to be pretty vulnerable in certain spaces with people, with, you know, myself, to share what my heart was really telling me, because I knew if I didn't, that I wouldn't be able to find those souls that can resonate with me. And I'm really grateful that I have souls stepping forward now that do truly see me, that do truly appreciate who I am from a soul-centric space. And, you know, I can call them friends, I can call them soul tribe, I can call them, you know, into my space of love. And if you don't do that, then you're never going to find those souls that can truly mirror back to you who you are. And I think this is the trustful for some. Trusting that you are going to find those that can resonate with you, that do want to love you for exactly as you are, and not being afraid of that. This might be to those that are just, you know, taking off their mask now, because you know that you deserve to be held exactly as you are, in the entirety of what you are. Yeah, the heart of source. What is your heart of source? That is what I want to share. This idea of sauciness keeps coming. So wordplay is important to someone, or some of you here. But this rainbow energy, like this is where I feel like I've been existing for some time, and it's just been so hard to put into words. And you kind of can't put it into words. You know, some things, there's not words for it. Sometimes it's light language, sometimes there's just creating, it's music, or it's a piece of art. So yeah, be playful, be expressive, and let your heart lead. And, you know, if you feel like you're gearing up to be sharing with others, you know, be creative with self. Do something that your inner child would have loved to bring you into this vibration. If this is feeling, you know, pretty deep or too much for you right now, go back to the inner child, you know, seek safety and express in a safe way. You know, do creative things for you, try new things, but trust in where you're being led and where your heart is leading you, because yeah, it's always leading you home. But if you like an extended reading, please do not hesitate to reach out. But I'll be back real soon. Take care.